The streets of El Salvador were once ruled by violent gangs. In 2022, President Nayib Bukele suspended constitutional protections, and in the ensuing 3 years, put more than 80,000 people in prison without due process. The streets are much safer, but Salvadorans have a new fear. Stories abound of innocent people swept up and lost with no recourse in a brutal system. This couple is here for their son, imprisoned, they say, on a false accusation. Bukele has acknowledged imprisoning some innocent people, but he says thousands have been freed so far and eventually all will be released. Rights groups say many remain, and those who did get out have horror stories to tell. Victor Barahona, a local journalist, was arrested without explanation and spent close to a year in prison. He tells me he spent months crammed in a small cell with 100 men, with no access to daylight and minimal food and water. He contracted skin infections and became delirious. One day, convinced he'd die, he asked a younger man to tell his children he loved them. It's painful, he says, to remember. When he was finally released, he had aged dramatically and lost 80 pounds.
Are you afraid of what might happen?
He's one of few people willing to risk reprisals to tell his story. But it's a story, he says, that the world needs to hear.